Hello, hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. This is your October frequency reading. It's a transmission reading where I receive the new frequency that needs to be anchored and broadcast by all of us. So these are new frequencies or light codes that are becoming available to us right now. And so when we're going to look at them from the perspective of the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and divine union. This week, this month, for this reading, we have the goddess Sarasvati, who is the goddess, or she is like the force of creation, and she's all about the power of our words. So it's the sacred word. We have the Opal angel, guardian angel, which brings hope, purity, beauty, introspection, and freedom. And as our color mirror spritzer, we have the platinum angel one, which helps you see the big picture and also helps you connect with all the light beings and your guides, etc. So before I do anything, I'm going to use the spritzer, rub it, breathe it in, and then use the energy to fluff all of my aura so that all of that is percolating while I do the reading. And I'm calling in the highest light available to us right now. And my intention is that this reading and this transmission be for the highest good of all. Okay, let's see what's percolating right now in the feminine, in the collective. So this is a collective reading. So it is what's available to us as a collective. I have this card that wants to come out. Oh, that's really funny. It's the card of accountability. So let me move everything so that we can see a little bit better. This week, so the first week of October, we got the card of accountability. Let me show it to you. And it is the weekly frequency for the coming week. So, and the whole message of accountability, I said it in the reading, it's a card of power. It is the card of power, actually, because when you stop playing the victim and you stop handing over, you know, the whole energy of being a victim is that you hand over your power to somebody else who decides, and you make them more powerful than you. That's, I think, the whole idea with being a victim. It's always somebody else's fault. It's somebody's, you know, something that happened to you. It's and we all have those parts of ourselves where we are victims, right? But what we do is we make it about somebody else. And so this card is all about, okay, well, this is my path, and I choose to decide whether I'm the victim or not. So the whole, if you want to get more information about this, there's a whole reading on accountability as the frequency to wear this coming week. And yeah, and this is an encouragement. It's a call to stepping into your power and becoming the master of your world. You're no longer, you know, everybody has somewhere, whether it's parents that didn't love you the way you were supposed to be loved, or you wanted to be loved, or an ex-partner who didn't treat you the way you wanted to be treated, etc. I mean, the list is so long. A boss that you know was abusive. We all have these places where we could potentially be a victim. And so this card calls to you to say, actually, you know, this was a learning opportunity for me. What did I learn? And who do I need to be to move out of this victim? You know, this person who, everything is a learning opportunity. So when you see that you came to learn this lesson and to step out of being the victim, but it's so if you had a parent who didn't love you the way you wanted to be loved, like, this is the opportunity to teach and to learn how you need to be loved. And the person who is accountable will be like, well, this is not what I wanted, this is what I needed, and starts giving it to herself. You don't go looking for it in other people, even though sometimes that can be healing in itself. But this is about you stepping into your power as being able to feed and to nurture yourself. You know, and so accountability is that it brings back the power to you to change, to step into who you need to be, and to become who you didn't get as you were growing up, or even this could be past life stuff. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this accountability piece because it's in this week's reading, and I'll put the link so that you can go and see it. Let's see what's coming in through the masculine. So remember that the feminine aspect, this is not gender. This is about foundational energies that we are all come from, and we all are part of our makeup, you know, the yin, the yang, and something else. And so this is also what you've received from from the female lineage, the egg that you receive, and this is what you've received from the sperm, so the masculine, both ancestral and genetic lineage we connect to. So within the feminine, this more creative, I say the feminine's the body, it's the embodiment piece, but it's also our creativity, what makes us magnetic. It's all our abundance is within this space too, because of that magnetic piece. And so what's percolating in the feminine for everybody, and it's like, where does the feminine allow herself to be a victim, and where can she step out of that victim attitude and become the all-powerful feminine she knows she can be, and stop projecting her lack of power and her lack of success onto the external, and connect to that deep place of power within. So you have to also see that wherever you still are a victim is where your power is trapped. As long as you perceived all of this from the point of view of being a victim, you deny yourself your own power. And so this is a claiming of that power back. So let's see what's within the masculine this month. What's percolating in the masculine that needs to be looked and seen by all of us. Spirit, show us what it is that we need to understand about the masculine energy. I have this one. Ooh, we have the card of Sirius. So the card of Sirius is the very last card of the deck, and it is often a card of completion, but I also call it the wild card. It's the card of anything and everything can happen. And so to prepare yourself to be surprised, and so be surprised, and you could have money fall, it's like the plot twist, it's the card of the plot twist. I also see this card coming in when you're called by your starseed family. So I say this card calls to itself its own people. So whether you connect with Sirius or whether you connect to other star system, it's irrelevant. The idea is that it's the seal of approval from the universe in many ways, and it's also like anything and everything can happen. So, you could receive an unexpected bonus, a windfall, a winning lottery ticket. There's a bit that it's the card of magic and unpredictability. And so this is really a call to be as open and flexible with what's coming towards you, even if it doesn't appear to be exactly what you want. Maybe, and it could be like a wish come true card too. But remember that it's playful and it's full of wonder and potential. And so, it's like the blessing card, and being open to what that blessing could be and might look like. And it's also a call to stepping in and being a blessing for other people. So, because we carry that energy. When you become the blessing and you bless other people, you also attract the blessing to yourself. So lots of good things. Usually there's a lot of work within the masculine, but I feel like the word is within the feminine this month. Excavating all those victim plays, and then just seeing what the masculine is going to pull out of its hat to surprise us, engage us, and I say it's the magic card. So goodness gracious me, maybe it's a call to tapping back into your magic and being able to reconnect with magic and see magic everywhere, to see the world as a magic place. It feels very aligned and very like I don't feel like there's anything that's hindering this energy. If anything, what's hindering the energy is the victim card of that's linked to the lack of accountability here. That would be what would block the magic, what would block the good stuff that the Sirius card could bring. So I think that's really exciting in many ways. I mean, how cool is that? This year is, this month is about looking at where the feminine is still playing the victim, where within and remember, this is not women and men. I have to really say that for all my clients. This is about how we use this energy and how it's shared and how it's projected out into the world. And so there is magic within the divine masculine this month, and I think the more we can let go and connect to our inner power and lose those victim stories, the more that magic can really manifest itself. So how very cool is that? I'm very excited. So it feels like this is going to be a really, really short reading, but maybe I can get some more cards on it. But so the union piece, I'm not going to pull a card for that, because the union is going to be what's going to come out of this. So the new frequency that I'm seeing, or that I'm being shown, or that I'm receiving, because as I said, this is an energy transmission more than anything, is a super empowered feminine, with, you know, I always say that the masculine is in service to the feminine, and that the feminine, everything has been born through the feminine. So it's like this rebirth of empowered feminine, and that can manifest and materialize so much magic, so much, it's abundance, it's opportunities, it's also, you know, having the space to receive that energy, and then this divine masculine that can bring all that magic to the feminine. And that, you know, it's like it feels like, you know, like the super agent that makes everything happen for you. You're like, if I were to put it in, maybe in a way that people could understand, say you wanted to be an actress or an actor, and you have all this stuff coming up about, you know, oh, nobody wants to hire me, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that. I mean, the list is endless, right? That's that victim part. Well, your divine masculine comes here as the agent, the super agent, finding you all the gigs, you know, getting you all that PR exposure, you know, getting your social media up and running, and really like marketing you and putting you out there. He's like the super agent who makes all your dreams come true in many ways, and also allows you to move through all the old stories. And so your job this month is to look at the old stories where you're still playing the victim, where you're playing small, and to allow those to really kind of be transmuted and move out. And the result, the divine union piece, is like this super empowered feminine that has a super playful, magical masculine, making all this great stuff happen for it. You know, opportunities, being seen. You know, this could also be like a form of celebrity. For some of you, might actually be a star. It's like the star card in many ways. It's like this divine alignment where you are in so much power, and an authentic, accountable power, that, you know, all these things just drop into your lap, where before you couldn't see them because of that victim story. So remove the victim story, step into full accountability and power, and like all this magic happens for you. It feels like so evident and so like easy in a way. And the ease here comes because of the accountability, because you're being accountable. And, you know, whatever shows up here, one of my favorite tools is using subliminal messages. And you can find these, you can record your own subliminal messages and then just replay them. And I do that a lot. And so if I were to identify something here, I would rewire, you know, write the victim story, like write it out. This is where I'm a victim. Nobody wants me, nobody cares about me, I'm alone. I mean, I don't know what your victim story is. We all have many of them playing out, and, you know, it might be that there's one big one, or there might be lots of small ones. And then you can ask ChatGPT to write you the opposing affirmations and create a subliminal message audio with that. You know, subliminal messages, they're recorded below your conscious level of hearing, and then all you have to do is then just listen to it, you know, for 28 days. That will kind of rewire your brain. So it's kind of easy, and I'm all for ease. I have to say this. I'm not for like, oh my God, I need to think about this. No, just write your sob story, write your victim story, then get ChatGPT to transfer it, you know, to transfer it into the opposite in terms of affirmation, record it and just listen to it. There you've done your work, you've contributed to the collective, you have made a difference, because all that energy that's trapped in here, and that keeps you powerless and small and not being seen, well, you've excavated it, you've given it form by writing it out, and you're rewiring your brain, you're doing the neuroplasticity piece by recording the subliminals. As if that's not easy, I don't know what is. And I can tell you the ripple effect of all of that in the collective is going to be huge. So, you know, it doesn't take a lot, because of all this is exponential. So excited about this. It doesn't feel that complicated to me. I don't know if it feels complicated to people, so if it does, please reach out to me, because I think what it requires you is just to be really honest with yourself. And if you're struggling to be honest with yourself, I'll put some questions that you in the comments underneath for you to think about. But get together with a buddy I call them accountability buddies. The accountability card in the deck and on Sirius, they have what is called accountability circles, where people get together and keep each other accountable. Start an accountability circle, and with the intention that it be full of unconditional love and compassion and kindness. And that the idea is you just excavate these places. They're shadow places, but they're places where we just hurt and we're ashamed, and just let it out. You could act it out, you could sing it out, you could dance it out. I mean, there's so many ways to do that. But if you do it with at least one other person, you hold each other accountable, and you can make a lot of headway by doing that. So I think that's very exciting, and it doesn't need to be super, super complicated. And remember that the feminine is all about what is being born through you, what you're creating. It's that part of you that you channel in so many ways. It's that pure creative energy. Is the Shakti. We were talking about the power of words. So saying also your affirmations aloud of that you want, the positive affirmations of who you want to become and who you need to become, of course, because the divine feminine is all in movement and spirals. And you might find that this piece has many different layers to it. You might find that you 1 week you do the work and then it feels good, and then the next week you get another depth or another layer of this accountability piece, or another aspect of your victim. It would be a very good exercise to do maybe one a week for the next 4 weeks, and just know that you have this super divine masculine. It looks like Superman to me energetically, like the Superman who's like, okay, you want this, I'm gonna make it happen for you, as long as you're not entertaining that sob story. If that sob story comes up, just look at it, see it for what it is, and start rewiring it. Don't give it more power than it has, because it's kind of masking your real, actual, your Shakti power, your life force. I'm even going to say your sexual energy is blocked by those. So what you want to do is to make space for it really to flow, and that way your superhero divine masculine can do its job and get you what you want. So let's see if I can get just one more card about the divine union, just a little bit more information. So this one wants to come out. Oh, well, it is a form of leap in consciousness. I think it'll probably be also a leap in a timeline, a change in timeline, like a new timeline, because often they go hand in hand. But look at that. If you do the work on the victim, if you become accountable for what you bring into your life, for what you're creating, because we're always creating and we're always manifesting, right? So whatever you're manifesting, whatever you're seeing in your life is kind of what you are. You keep repeating these places that you keep repeating. I say get together with somebody, find somebody that you trust, because these are vulnerable places, and start excavating those stories that are on repeat and that you've outgrown. This is all stuff that's outgrown, because look what's coming. A Sirius, stepping into a bigger, larger expression of your life purpose. It feels like it's constant growth, doesn't it? And it's exhausting. I hear you. But, it doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be painful. It could just be a really flowy process where you just grow and grow, and it's just growth that feels supportive. And that's something that you can ask your masculine, like, as I'm growing, please create the structure that I need to grow and be supported, because sometimes we're tired. But it's happening. It's like these are happening, and it's all to do with that. So I'm going to recommend that you go back to this week's reading, and I'll put the link to that. And leap of consciousness is just access to more of yourself. It's access to deeper, bigger aspects of, I say, who you are, but also your gifts and your qualities and what you can bring to the world, and how you want to express and who you want to be in the world. I think that's only good. And remember that this is collective. So the more people do it, the more it ripples effects and the more exponential it is. And I think that's really, really important. We often think that we're not powerful enough to make a difference. And I know that, maybe 5 people can make more of a difference than 1,000 with the right intentions and the right, the right mindset. This is about freeing yourself, but it's also whatever you free in yourself, you're freeing the collective, and I think that's priceless. So, and this week's frequency, as you can see, is 36, 57, 70, 69, 50, 66, 56. I will put it here, and I'll write it underneath in the. So there are different ways you can do this. I would definitely be wearing the accountability frequency, which I gave. You could also wear the Sirius one if you wanted to, and that's in the booklet, and you could wear the Leap in Consciousness. But here's the thing, this one encapsulate all of this. It will encapsulate all of it. So actually by wearing this one, you're kind of addressing everything. And so maybe this is the easiest one. Don't forget to put that it's the October month on the back so that you know which one it is, so you can swap out the September for the October one, and then you can just use the different weekly ones as you want to. So I'm just going to give you the light language activation to go with this, to anchor the energies, and so that you can go back to it when you kind of forget. It's like a quick way to reconnect with the transmission. Yeah, and you know, when you have a loss of, what I'm going to say, doubts. I have a lot of doubts all the time, and I can't remember, I'm a manifesting generator in human design, and apparently doubts are the way that you know that you're on the right track. But I have doubts all the time about everything. And so I'm going to say to you, this is that the light language activation helps with doubts. Like when you're having doubts, just go back to it, listen to it. It's pretty short, it's like a minute or two, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time, because goodness gracious me, are we all so busy and so full of content. This is your light language activation for the month of October, these new frequencies that we are being asked to anchor and broadcast as into the collective as much as possible. So please take a deep breath with me. Ku shu awanaka asi akuate hara uachiniki uate a anakawe eshi ane huru usha kakala uata anakashi uete atanakashi urichi uata naka sukuru nu uashe ka takuate nake huru ushishiku uata nake eteka achi aru uchi naka uata hete ata akua chena keri uchi watekewe hete ana awekeshi ata. Wishing you all a beautiful, magical October by the sounds of things. And yes, don't forget to set up your accountability circles and start working on all these wounded places within you, and excavate them so that you can access this leap of consciousness and this magical Superman to step in and make all your dreams come true. And you know, remember that we're talking about the inner masculine, so it's your inner Superman that's going to step up. It might, for certain people, take the form of somebody actually outside of you, but for most of you, this is going to be an internal process. So have a beautiful and magical October. Namaste.